Alright, welcome back, people. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Thank you, everyone, to listen to myself. There we go with Masters Enigma. I have to change the title, true. With Masters Enigma, we are finally up to date. Let me change the title. I knew I was forgetting about something. Sorry that I started uh, late, very late today, but we'll compensate in the night. Pretty much because hang on, there we go. Masters Enigma. We are finally up to date with the story there. I need to get used to that. Good. This is, I can see my own stream there. Now, performance mode. Don't worry, people. Instead of doing from, as I usually do, from 5 p.m. to 9, we'll do like from 6 to 9:30, almost 10, pretty much. We'll do it like that, so we have at least 3 hours of stream. Okay, so we'll do up to uh, 9:30. Okay, so last time we did pretty much we discovered all of the biomes of Darth Null, basically. And also the triumphant return of Darth Giades. If I remember correctly, this guy was from Imperial Agent storyline. I think he was. He was the main antagonist, something like that. I don't know. Basically, it was either that one or another one. But well, basically that. So he returns. You have the option to join him or not against Molgus and Hetakul and etc. So yeah, pretty much. Overview. So we came to the ship of Darth Jadas, and we're conducting the experiments of Darth Null. That is pretty much like a Kreia 2.0. I'll do it briefly for anyone or anyone. She's a Kreia 2.0. Yeah. So basically that's the idea. So as you can see here, we are at the second biome. We did the first biome last time. This is the second one. Okay, so overview, wetlands, ephemeral, metamorphic ecosystem. Predator aggression optimization. Intent to construct the natural hierarchy emphasized by the essence of predation and its indispensability in the cycles of life and death. Variables and requirements. Inclusion of small organisms. Secondary function. Consistent food source. Primary function. Crucial element in maintaining the vegetation and combating overgrowth. Introduction of moderately aggressive species instigated into challenging more dominant species in order to develop their strength. Identify predators with the potential to be forced into lower hierarchical rankings should they fail to consistently improve themselves or adapt to changes. Open file hierarchy of predator. Hierarchical. No, it's not this one. This one. Experiment parameters and potential metamorphic disruption. The biome must be in constantly fluctuation, stagnation of one group, synthesis and engineering of traits, species, new strain of fungi, neutral for the mature insects into they consumed it, neutral assistance, blah 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 blah, by the nature of biome design and purpose, for me to physically take readings, make adjustments for necessary maintenance. Solution. Several of my acolytes have volunteered to assume the responsibility of these tasks on my steed. Perished. 2 of my assistants perished while attempting to conduct their own studies. Okay, necessary scavenging. Freezing the biomap, optimal growth conditions. Scavenger. Solutions that have slitherbats. Sufficiently treating toxic fungi. Okay, so let's close this. That updates the objective. Restore the biome of ferocity ecosystem. Okay. Okay, so we have to restore this one. Second test, people, huh? Restore the biome of ferocity ecosystem. I don't know if this was part of the of the test, but I'm killing them no matter what. Yo, how's it going, Patrick? And hang on, one sec. Here we go. And hello, district. You saw Donald Trump say today we no longer need to decide the NATO countries assistance. We never did. I think he was talking about Romania too. Our country is pretty much everything that Trump asked. No, he's talking about. If you ask me, he's talking about the Western countries that basically negate. They rejected sending the Mediterranean fleets to free the Strait of Hormuz district. That one was clearly because of that. And chaotic chemistry, hello to the three of you. Sorry that I'm starting late. Hello there. Hope you're all doing good right now. The same chaotic chemistry, same chaotic chemistry. And hello to Patrick as well, to the three of you. No district. I can confirm you that that was said when he requested to free the Strait of Hormuz instead. Because I know Trump loves our country. uh, I always said, district, I always said that a, a disagreement between NATO, well, NATO, the US is the biggest associate of NATO, the biggest economical contribution. But I always said before he won the last election, you can check out the bots, that Europe and the US should be together. The problem is that right now I made a mistake with the nationalities of the destroyers on the Mediterranean. There's one that is Dutch. There's another one that is Spaniard. The main one, which is Charles de Gaulle, French, and the British one, and a Spaniard one. So Spanish, Dutch, British, French. I think they were all. I think I'm forgetting one country. There's one more. So the thing is that they have them on the island of Chipre. Of Chipre, I think that's in Spanish. Sorry, in English, I didn't take the time to look at how it is said of Chipre. Basically, but that's to protect like the Mediterranean. Trump wanted all of those frigates to go around Africa, come here to the south, then go to the east and help him free the Strait of Hormuz, so the oil can be the oil commerce can be restored to precisely to Europe and the rest of the West and the rest of the world, pretty much, except for China. China, of course, no, because they started it all. But I see we start the stream with lots of topics of debate and energy. I don't know why, I don't get why the UK are so afraid. Because of the migration that there has been. The other day, District, I saw a video in which, I'm not lying, you can find it. A person on a horse, imagine in your country, a person on a horse, literally, which is forbidden in all of the capitals of the civilized world. In Argentina, that's prohibited in the capital and in Europe as well. Going with a horse on a public street and telling the UK police what to do. Two people. They were controlling the protest. We have had that here in Argentina. I'll go point by point, District, but this is about the UK. Is important. We've had this in Argentina. You know, with what? With football hooligans. Football hooligans, like drug traffickers, like drug lords, end up assuming the role of the national state. Okay, and in the UK, these two people on top of horses, riding horses, did the same. That's why I'm telling you I see dangerous similarities. This is called pre-revolutionary maneuvers. Pre-revolutionary maneuvers. I start testing the limits of the authority. Like that. So, two people on a horse telling the London police what to do. So imagine, and Starmer is a communist. Pretty much, Starmer is pretty much MS. I don't get why the UK are so afraid. Well, basically, because of migration, they don't want to do anything. Why they are even in NATO? Then, that's the thing. That's the thing. It's been taken from the inside. Anyway, he said the trans got nothing left. Basically, they destroyed them. So there's nothing for the US to do. No, not the trans. no, not the trans. Anyway, he said Iran's that Iran got nothing left. Let's just say Persia. I will say Persia. You're right. Anyway, he said that Persia has nothing left as a country, even is with this. Basically, they destroy. So there's nothing for the US to do in Iran now. The Strait of Hormuz needs to be freed, and basically, China cannot keep getting all of the oil from there. If China keeps growing, we are all freaking dead, pretty much. I love how they were the origin of the 2020 crisis, and they don't get any international any international condemn at all. Nothing. They were like, all right, we drop a biochemical weapon all over the world. That's it. No problem. Like when I say destroy, basically all of the airports and that's okay, are gone. This is what Trump said. No, okay. No, that's true. The air defense capabilities, yeah. That should be the case. That's why they are just launching missiles. In that sense. No, but about the legal, the one that you posted over at Discord district about they demanding your country or any European country for that matter, due to hosting US bases. I don't know what the charges would be. See, if even Pillow tells you that there is no way anything's going to happen there, well, imagine. So don't be afraid. My country, by the way, people, in case you are interested, if it makes you feel better, my country was already threatened to be attacked. Already, again, we were already attacked. I don't know if you people know. In the 90s, this is what Trump said in his. We respond to them. Yeah, no, it's like that. No, in case anyone is interested here, I wanted to tell you this because there's a lot of propaganda that they are releasing. But it's not Persia. You need to understand that behind Persia, it's China, and something called the BRICS. The BRICS is the eastern bloc of countries behind the influence of China, Russia to a lesser extent, but the main one is China because that one has the money. So Romania responded to them, to the accusations of Persia taking legal action for hosting US bases. It's just funny as you read it, basically. So the response was. We said that we just follow what we signed with NATO and stuff like that. Okay, so standard protocol procedures. Basically, we we are not involved, or we don't get involved. We just follow what Romania signed with NATO, something like this. Yeah, no, but above all, district, is Persia is not a NATO European country, so I don't know what kind of jurisdiction it would demand out of NATO. And besides it all, the greatest, the one that puts the most money into NATO, and I will, people, you need to understand this. When I say that the US is the greatest contributor, you don't have to in money to NATO. It's not that you have to think of an abstraction of a country. This is the problem, that we think in abstract terms. The taxes of an American farmer right now, the taxes of an American farmer subsidize, they pay for a lot of our countries. Yes, Argentina included, because we also contribute and get NATO money, and we get more than what we contribute, the same as a lot of European countries. You need to understand that it's not an abstraction that the country magically, how do I put it, that the country magically uh, just contributes and distributes it all. Okay, it's not that. It's the taxes of an American farmer right now, paying for the schools of, maybe, I don't know, a school in France or whatever, or a hospital in Spain or whatever. That, and even in Argentina, because while we are not a NATO member, we are like a exterior, a NATO associate. It was something like that. That we also get back. So think about it like that. Think about it like that. The taxes. Imagine if, being fair, would you like your taxes to go to contribute to another, to a lot of other countries, in a sense? So the response, in that sense, and without even getting military assistance, that would be the case. But it wasn't for Romania. The response was for the destroyers that are in the Mediterranean. They are guarding the island of Chypre, and Trump wanted them to go all the way around Africa and go to the Strait of Hormuz, because he's going to take the island of Kurg, I think it's called, something like that. That one hosts all of the oil, basically. The thing is to choke China. You need to understand that behind Persia is China. China is the danger. Why is the danger? Because they want to destroy the West. Destroy. They want to have more money than the US, and that implies destroying the West. Okay? They did so in 2020 with the biochemical weapon. The biochemical weapon that is that was the pandemic. It was a biochemical weapon that no one held China responsible for it. So they failed there, and they are failing again now, because they are choking the oil. All of the oil that China gets is from there. It's not rich in oil like the Americas and for example Norway. I don't know. So they need to take it from Middle East. There are not so many oil deposits around the world, people. That's why it's so precious. So the response of Romania regarding the legal actions. Wait, I'll send you the complete response. So Romania has been hosting missile defense basic since the ending of World War II. It has to be capabilities against threat from outside the Euro-Atlantic area for more than 10 years. The system is strictly defensive in nature, true, used only for self-defense purpose, in accordance with the United Nations Charter. Romania is not a party to the conflict. Our priority is the diplomatic effort for de-escalation, for which we have advocated since the first day of the conflict. Our response to Persia 30. No, here in our case, they directly threatened us with doing T attacks, like they did in the 90s. And you can see that. Look, people, I'll tell you a story. I'll tell you a story because just so you see that this is not a matter of having a reason. My country is like close to Antarctica, okay? We don't pose a threat to pretty much anyone. Pretty much anyone. We are like alongside Australia, the most isolated countries in the world. We are like alone with penguins, basically. Alone with penguins. Okay. 90s. We were about to do a free trade agreement. We still don't have it with the United States. That would have eliminated poverty in a great deal in my country. Okay? In the 90s. Coincidentally, just so you see that it's not a matter of religion exclusively. 90s. We were about to sign a free trade agreement with the US. And we got two booms, let's just say. I will not say the four letters word that describes an artifact that explodes. We had two booms, like in Gears of War. Boom boom, the boomer. We had two booms. One on the Jewish embassy, and the other one, but it killed Argentines. First of all, and another one, I don't remember. It was close to there. I don't remember which one was the embassy. The embassy. So basically, in transport, in those buildings. I don't remember the second one. Basically, those two. We didn't attack anyone. We didn't do anything. Uh, we didn't do anything aggressive. We were signing a free trade agreement with the US. Just that. And after that, a lot of people died. A lot of people died. Yep. Well, a lot of people died. And you will tell me now what kind of aggression is a free trade agreement with the US. There you have the definitive proof in a country that is completely isolated from the rest of the world. Because my country only has one neighbor, which is Chile, to the east, and pretty much the rest, all of you are to the north. Even Uruguay and Brazil there with chaotic chemistry, the one that is closest, closest to me. But all much more to the north. We are like isolated. So the crime is making a free trade agreement. See that they don't need a reason. They have the proof that it doesn't have to do with it. But more importantly, so behind Persia, it's China, and these people don't need a reason to do all of the things they do. The error is thinking that you need to give them a reason. So after the two booms, oh, a coincidence, a socialist government took hold of my country, created 17,000% inflation.
What are you doing? I cannot allow you to endanger this environment.
And left us in poverty for 20 years. But it wasn't just here. It is a coordinated plan because behind Persia, it's China to destabilize the West. This is what people don't see. All of South America was destabilized. All of it. Why? because it's rich in oil and rest of the minerals. Venezuela, there you have Venezuela. They, Cuba, Venezuela, Argentina, and and of course also chaotic chemistry. Brazil, I think, with Lula was taken with that, with some of the things that happened in the last decade. Uh, all of the region, because it's rich in oil, and not only that, it's a safe location to extract the oil because we don't have any neighbors. It's not like Middle East. And China knows that once the US takes back control of South America, like it was a bit in the 90s, like I say, and they put the two booms, they know it's over because of our oil reserves are probably even bigger than Middle East. And the US has on its own oil reserves. So it's much more. Okay, do you know where are the Argentine oil reserves? If you say that, your country should be rich. My country is not rich. Do you know why? Because the oil reserves were never exploited in the last 20 years. Oh, a coincidence. Oh, a coincidence. The oil reserves were never exploited. Only now we are starting to build the infrastructure to take it. They know that once the US organizes its backyard, they won't be able to continue exerting that influence on Europe. Let's get to Europe. Let's get to Europe, people. Let's get to Europe. To Europe. The European Commission is taken by China. It's a sad situation. The PP, the People's Party, over there in Brussels, Ursula von der Leyen, is like Obama. These people do not care about selling Europe or the US to China. They just do not care because they get a lot of money. Persia here, it's a puppet of China. The European Commission, and causing the British to not act, and all of the horrors that we are seeing, it's China. It's China behind it all. They need to destabilize the West in general. Europe, South America, and North America. The three regions. Why? Because they want to be a superpower like the US is. But they cannot because they don't have the military forces. Reality is knocking at their door. Reality is knocking at their door. That's why I have such a pragmatic stance regarding this. And even so, I wish no one would die, no one would, etc. But the reality is,
This goes against the stability I have worked to create, and yet progress is being made.
and now, reality is knocking at their door. It's knocking at their door. The horrors that we've seen in Germany, in the UK, in France, as attacks in the major 4 or 5 Western EU territories, are a horror. Are a horror, and nobody cares about them. That's the thing. Patrick, no, wait, say this. No, why? Patrick is very respectful, and when he sees that I'm debating with another person, like he visits, like from the beginning every day. In that sense, I have to always thank him. In that sense, he likes like he's very respectful, and he lets me chat with the other people. In that sense, generally district. That's the reason. In that sense, he's very respectful. So when he sees that another person joins the stream, he like gives a bit of variety to it. Isn't that right, Patrick? It's like that. In that sense. No, but district. I wanted to know you personally, I bet you also don't like the deaths and etc. But and you don't need to love the US like I do at all. But do you see them as a threat? The Persians and China and all of the things that I say. No need, if you don't see them as a threat, no problem at all. No problem at all. You can see that I listen to everyone. You can see that I listen to everyone. No, if you tell me no, China is is okay and Persia, they are all getting killed by genocidal US or something like that. I have no problem listening to it. I think it's completely wrong, but no problem at all. No problem at all in that sense. Because yeah, pretty much. Yeah, the fungus. Because pretty much I like listening to what people think, even if it's completely opposite. People then have to listen to what I think in that sense, but yeah, pretty much, pretty much. I think this is not the way of clearing the fungus because it's not increasing in percentage. I mean, it should be like this, but yeah, pretty much. The one thing I will tell you is that behind Persia and behind all of this, it's two components. It's two components. They had the West choked like for the last 15 years from the inside with Obama and some entrepreneurs from New York. What's this? Some entrepreneurs from New York, and from the outside, people think of it like this: in the 90s, there wasn't so much, and in the early 2000s, until Obama got to the presidency of the U.S., there wasn't anti-Jewish propaganda. There wasn't anti-Semitic propaganda like there's today at all. On the contrary, Hollywood was like pro, rightfully so, because of the attacks during World War II. It I don't. This brutal change has to respond to something. The anti-Semitism that we are seeing around the world. In that sense, and the anti-US, it goes beyond it. It's the anti-US uh, propaganda. It's like that. It's like very very orchestrated by China, if you ask me. They know that militarily they are seeing reality. They cannot beat the US in open conflict. And now that they provoke, well, the droid has to come over here. Where is it? Here. It should come over here. And now they are verifying that 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 you cannot be superpower police of the world without taking care of that. China wanted like the fame without the responsibilities. Without the responsibilities that it implies. And pretty much that's what happened. Not to mention that it was an already occupied seat.
Harmony. But what I created was stagnation. My analysis is complete.
in that sense.
Please return to me.
Sense is like that, people. If you have to, if I have to tell you what I think of the situation, and regarding the first one that you said, district, which one was it? That hang on, I'm scrolling. Donald Trump said today, "We no longer need or desire NATO countries' assistance. We never did." You think he was talking about Romania too? No, he's talking about the destroyers in the Mediterranean. There was one Dutch, one French, which was the main one, Charles de Gaulle. The Spanish one, Christopher Columbus, pretty much. There was then the British one, the HMS, I don't remember the name, something, and there I think there was one more. You lagging? Am I? Now?
The biome's natural balance, its true balance, has
Right
been
now?
restored through your efforts. Inflexible concepts of order forced upon any society or system may harm more than they help. I have much to process.
Am I? Here? Now?
It appears that while I was occupied with my experiments, someone attempted to access the Enigma's files, numerous times.
Do you mean Jadis?
That name is not found in any of the records I can access. I must return to the Enigma's
Stream not
mainframe with
working.
my findings.
I see it perfectly, yeah?
If you have need of further information, ask. Otherwise, you are free to begin the process to upload this protocol to the mainframe. Its primary function is to
I see
serve
it
as a
perfectly,
repository
District, yeah?
of all knowledge its creator possesses. However, its functionality is limited in its current state. That is all I am capable of expressing on this topic.
Yeah, but it's lagging sometimes. Okay, let me limit the frame rate then. It's because of not seems good. Okay, seems good. Or doesn't seem good.
My records contain data from
Now
the
seems good. Okay, okay.
experiences of Master and
Begin the upload process. Let's get to the third biome, people. We need to solve the third riddle. We're already done with the biome of ferocity. No, but district, regarding EU and the US, EU is taken right now in a lot of governments. Sorry, it's reality of the situation. Look, people, I will say something harsh, but very real. I would like you to think to your inner selves, not debate with me. I'd like you to think in your inner selves. What's the shared common factor between illegal migration to Europe and the US for that matter, but let's focalize it in Europe. What's the common element between illegal migration and rainbow flags? Who ends up reproducing in both cases? What's the common element? Or who ends up not reproducing in both cases? Who ends up not reproducing? If there's illegal migration to Europe and Europeans are told to die alone, without children, women hating men, all of the rainbow flag in general situation, the wokes in general situation, everyone having twisted sexual desires, not between men and women. Who ends up not reproducing? Let's keep it simple, biology. If there's migration to Europe, and that migration is not part of the evil white Europeans, those are like excluded. And the Europeans are fed with rainbow flag. What is the common? Who ends up not reproducing in both cases? In both cases, biologically, the ones that are encouraged to not reproduce are the original white Europeans. By 2050, it was estimated, it is still estimated, that this is not any conspiracy theory, this is the real NATO numbers. These are official NATO numbers. By 2050, there will be a majority of non-European population in Europe. Do you see that normal? Do you see that normal? Would it still be Europe if it's not inhabited by all of us European descended people? Would it still be Europe? No. No, because a country is what its population is. It's a reflection of its population. People, and with the rainbow flag the same. Who are not encouraged to reproduce, and who are encouraged to reproduce? The white Europeans are not encouraged to reproduce. They don't say it, but if it happens, it happens. It's a classic. It's a called a pre-revolutionary maneuver. If it happens, it happens. I start testing the limits. If it happens, well. If it doesn't, oh well, I'll have to try another way to encourage it. In both cases, let's keep it simple. Simple ground level biology. If we get a lot of illegal migrants that do not share the culture and don't want to adapt to the culture of a country. When you go to another country, you have to adapt to its culture. It's basic respect. It's like going to another home and not, for example, imagine me wanting to go to the UK without learning English. No, that's an indignity. That's an indignity. Because it's not my home. I wasn't born there. I would like to, but I wasn't born there. I have a lot of patriotism and etc., but I wasn't born there, etc. You see the thing? It's like that, people. So, in both cases, let's keep it at biology ground level. With the rainbow flags, and everyone liking men, and the migrants, who does not reproduce? The white European. The white European. Straight men and women. Who don't reproduce? It's always the same question. Ask yourself then, who doesn't reproduce because of the influence of something? The white Europeans. White Europeans do not reproduce because there's less money for everyone, as we have to host illegal migration. I know, but you have to feel empathy. Well, first feel empathy for those who you share your blood with, because if you don't love yourself, you cannot love others. Okay? That's why I feel so much empathy for white Europeans and Americans, in that sense, or descended people from those, because I share that blood. Because I share that blood, and this is not racism, people. This you can see that I kept it as directly, simply biological as I could. Who does not reproduce? You want to change it with kitties and doggies to make it more kid-friendly for people who get offended for everything. Let's do it like that, with kitties and doggies, people. Let's do it like that. If I have 4 or 5 kitties, if I have 4 or 5 kitties, and some men and women, let's say male and female kitties, and they are reproducing and etc., what happens if I bring a doggy to 4 or 5 kitties? Either the doggy kills them because it's a natural predator. In this case, it's not a natural predation, but it's a predation assisted by the state by giving benefits with your taxes. Or, if they are not eaten, hang on, let me finish the concept. If they are not eaten, let's suppose the doggy is civilized and doesn't kill them. what happens? The kitty cannot reproduce with the doggy. And if it, what would happen if it would be, well, it wouldn't be a kitty anymore, the result of a doggy with a kitty. It wouldn't be a kitty anymore. It wouldn't be a European Union anymore. By 2050, it is expected that there will be majority. That there will be majority of this population instead of the original. Not any conspiracy theory, no hatred, no nothing. Official NATO numbers. Official NATO numbers. Official NATO numbers. 2050. 20 years. Imagine yourselves with each of you with 20 years more if you'd like a majority of non-Europeans in Europe. What do? We rename it China's colony. I don't see how to make it clearer. Honestly, I think it's it's quite graphical what I'm doing. I think it's quite graphical in that sense. Quite graphical. Pretty much. If there are no Europeans in Europe, is it still Europe by 2050? No, it's not. No, it's not. One thing is to be open to high quality migration. Yes, perfectly fine. Those who I would welcome to Argentina, anyone who has an effort and is prepared. The same I would expect to even sit for an exam if required to enter any country. I had to wait for my citizenship 2 years, do all of the paperwork. I learned English since I was etc. I have 3 careers, etc. No problem. No problem at all. That kind of people I would accept in my country just as I would expect to be accepted in another one. That's perfect. That's perfect. But these people are nothing of this. It's forced. There are good people inside of all of that, hardworking and etc. But it's just not. But it just implies eliminating the history of Europe if it goes on. And the governments that Trump is complaining about, he has a strong point. He has a strong point that they are not helping defend. That they are not helping defend.
Thank you for your generosity. May the force be with you.
Because when you say NATO, the 20% I think of all of the money
That was certainly an experience.
of the International Monetary Fund is American. And you have to think that it's not just a nebulous amount of money. The American farmer is giving money to NATO, and NATO is not spending it on defense. Think about if that's fair, people. In all honesty, would you say that that is fair? That the American farmer with his taxes is giving money to the alliance more than the other countries, and it is spent on corruption, or worse, being given to China.
Strength will not come from peace.
Look there, on the main console.
We must hurry.
It appears the holocron's connection will take some time to resolve. Unfortunate.
They're using robots. Yo, how's it going, Pillow? How's it going, Pillow? I was talking about the great replacement theory of Europe.
Systems wish to impede our effort.
Pretty much. But yeah. Yeah. Very busy. You are busy. What are you doing with your?
Cleanse the rot.
You have any case over at the office? Well, I don't know if you use an office, but pretty much. With the Polish estate, which one are you prosecuting? You approve of the great replacement theory. Some parts are exaggerated. The part of it linked, but yes, I do. I do think there's a clear intention by China. Yeah. As you, no, Pillow, no. By 2050, the very same United Nations predicts that Europeans won't be a majority in Europe. Same official NATO UN numbers, not nothing, pretty much. No. By 2050, it is projected by numbers.
You'd think a scientist would have a faster mainframe.
Okay, we have to hold until.
Your chaos ends here.
Damn it, I should have brought a different build for this shit with AoE, with area of effect damage. Yes, I think there's a plan. It's not as mystical as sometimes they make it sound, but yeah, I think there's a clear plan to eliminate European population in Europe. Dang it, I'll need some area of effect here. Hang on a pillow, now I read. It's just that they are killing me here. I should have brought my AoE build. I have no comp out? Is this a joke? Hang on. I'm gonna recover. Now I read below, eh? No, it's just that. There we go. I know, there's another one. Okay.
At best, we're halfway there.
I mean, I also read that 93% of adult immigrants are currently employed in Germany, and Muslim rates are going down year by year. Yeah, no, but I was commenting this, Pillow. I was commenting this. What is the common element? I see, I see. You, no worries if you don't see it or anything. Just so you see that it's not backed by mysticism or whatever, or what you say, Mr. Gregor's, Neo Mr. Gregor's stuff. Just so you see that I try to be objective. I try to be as objective as possible. What is the common link element between rainbow flags, gender theory in general, and free migration to Europe by anyone? Illegal, no papers, no nothing. Who doesn't reproduce at the end of the day? The original white Europeans. I don't know how anyone would. How I see that element. Just so you see that it's not just mysticism or whatever. Just so you see that it's because of that.
Your chaos ends here.
I see it like a linked element. Who ends up not reproducing? The white European. We are also told that children are a responsibility, a burden, instead of a blessing, and etc. So yeah, pretty much. It's because of that. It's not because of crazy conspiracy and etc. No, I try to base it in facts. Base it on facts, basically. It's like that. But no worries. It's pretty much that. Let me answer with another question. Well, but do you see the element? Do you see the element? What unites far right nationalists, legitimate monarchies, also and national populists? Great question that we all hate China, they all get no. That's not true, Pillow. That's not true. That's not true. Well, true. Not not prostitutes. No, we get very refined women. No, it is true. It is true. Not prostitutes. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. You marry? No, I don't want to marry. I don't want to marry. I don't want to marry.
Hello, I am Darth Null's personality matrix.
I don't want to marry. I don't want to marry. I want to marry. I want to marry. But no, trust me that in that sense, even if I don't want to marry, uh, in high school and etc., I could have picked the. Can't argue with that, law. Okay, 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 okay. But I do, but yeah, pretty much. Can't argue with that, law. Well. No, I don't want to. I want to, but yes, have children and etc. and all of that. That yes. Wait, I would like to marry if the laws weren't made by China and to destroy the West, causing an unfair relationship between man and women. If it was like with different conditions, no pre, and I believe in eternal love and transcending death and etc. That yes, it's like the spirit of the way. I mean, it's either you believe in the replacement theory, you have a woman. No, it's not. You're religious forever. You're just not, no. It's not like that, Philo. That's reductionism. No. That's it. 101 reductionism, fallacy of reductionism. No, Pillow. That's like me telling you that you cannot even talk about Baldur's Gate 3 because you didn't kill the harvester, and I let you talk in chat now. No, it's not like that. Perception does not immanent realism. You don't need seeing something to know that it exists. Or would you say that your neighbors Russia doesn't exist just because you don't see them every day on the streets of Poland? No, it's not like that. It's not like that. Call it then. Like you, I pulled up Baldur's Gate 1, but no, that's not true. That's not true, Pillow, because I did beat Divinity Original Sin 1. By December, I'll kill the harvester. Very good. I feel very well with that. But I already beat Divinity Original Sin 1 on highest difficulty. It's not the same plot, but it's the same combat system. In fact, it's harder than Baldur's Gate 3 because they had to casualize it for 5.0 Dungeons and Dragons casual audience who evidently don't have the APM to beat the Harvester and Baldur's Gate 1, so they don't feel offended and bad about themselves. Let's do it very, very, very casual. I don't care, it's not the same. Well, beat Divinity Original Sin 1, then if it's not the same. It will never be... Beat Divinity Original Sin 1 if it's not the same. You'll see that it's not. It's much harder. It's much harder. Why? Because the turns are not team-based. They are not team-based. They are individual in that sense. So, initiative can be more interrupted by the enemy. You can make it hard if you are playing on hard mode, lol. I know, but that's... Would you play a goon game for that? What the fuck? What the fuck is a goon game? I don't know what goon is. Speaking proper English here. This is an stream from the 90s. I don't know. Consider that I never had social media. Gunnar Boomer. I don't know what the fuck that expression is. You'll have to explain it in proper terms. I don't understand what it is.
My efforts have not been wasted. With the final component complete, your role in this endeavor has come to an end.
I only know that Boomer is like my prior generation to millennial. Pretty much. I believe older games. Hey, that guy has my lightsaber.
We were supposed to work together.
So we did. And you had the potential to be a worthy addition to my followers. But it is only my vision that Null's machine will carry forward. You will give the holocron to me. All the power and skill at your disposal, and you still fail to recognize the real threat.
Real threat? What's a real threat? Hey, the thing of being captured is getting old. Like, to compensate the... Well, it was evident that this guy... Now, no person using makeup as a man there isn't dangerous, pretty much. People, it's not a surprise to me that this guy betrayed us, pretty much. Yeah.
A simple task, accomplished in order to secure his role in the galaxy to come.
I sincerely
You are
apologize
good, right?
for the ruse.
You'll have to define that, Pillow, otherwise it doesn't make sense to the stream, and my stream is only watched by older people, not your... in general.
It's clear that her grip on the Empire is tenuous.
Evidently, any man who wears makeup on his face, evidently, is not to be trusted, people. Like that. Winning is a slang term for the practice of engaging... No! No, Pillow. And what's the point of that? Often for hours, while utilizing technique to maintain
Impossible victories.
Yes, guard, slay. Pillow, what a shit term. What a shit term.
I'm afraid it is.
What a shit term. The humanity has gone to shit, people. Humanity has gone to shit. The harvester needs to come back and kill us all. What the fuck is that term, Pillow? Please have some self-dignity and speak proper English. What the fuck is that shit? Okay, but no. Speak proper English, Pillow. Please have some self-dignity. What are you saying? And don't insult, please, with those things. Don't insult with those things. So it's like to call someone old-fashioned. What things? Gunner and Goonie and Boomer and etc. Call someone old-fashioned. In that sense, proper dictionary usage. It's actually a replacement for old-fashioned, that word. It's a stupid replacement of old-fashioned. In that sense. Boomer, good when you say all of that. Just say old-fashioned. Traditional. I don't know. I have so many synonyms. Classical. I feel like you are problem switch, kind of problem switch, or sub in a relationship. I cannot imagine it. What the fuck? I feel like you are I don't understand the phrase. Problem a switch, kinda, or sub in the relationship between you and me. There's problems. Because you say that we'll have to divorce, Pillow. We'll have to divorce. You don't say. We'll have to divorce. God damn it. Oh my god. No, but if it has a much better... What the fuck? We cannot target? He's already dead. That died fast, people.
What is this?
Cannot imagine it different. We're undating, bro, but I guess the hungry things over. No. No, I said it because in the other stream, in the previous stream, you said, what was it? We cannot be in relationship, and I don't know what joke you had done about it. Forget it. No problem. No problem. Besides, you do know perfectly what would happen to all of the... You come to... No. You know very well what would happen to all of the rainbow flag degenerates under my command. You know what would happen? You know what would happen? Nature is wise. I'll only say that. Nature is wise. Nature is wise. And in ancient Rome, there was an old tradition of what
Stop!
happened.
Jadis!
And like you, Jesus loves everyone. Indeed, 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 because he was a representation of perfection that I am not. That I am not. I am a human. I have my flaws, basically, and I simply cannot love anyone. I have my sense of righteousness that indeed impedes those things. Pretty much. Pretty much. Pretty much. We cannot be like that ideal for society. So thinking you will have any of enforceable power is not even optimistic, but comparing enforceable power, enforceable power, optimistic but comparing. No, not comparing. I think overall humanity would benefit. Overall
What are you
humanity would
saying to
benefit.
us?
Overall humanity would benefit. Look, worse than Obama. No one can do it worse than Obama. No one can do it worse than Obama. Let's be honest, people. No one can do it worse than Obama. Maybe in a modern age, I'm talking, right? Of course, in ancient times, well, ancient times, in World War II, yes, of course, Stalin and Mao, 100%. It's like saying I'm ready to marry Jennifer Lopez. No, I'm very, very picky in that sense. Besides pillow, think of it like that. Think of it like this. Any woman, or I'm ready to go to Neptune. Besides, think it like this, pillow. Any woman who would be with me would instantly, actually, both of these would be more realistic. Think of it like this, pillow. Any woman who was with me, that's why I need to be picky and have a lot of filters, would not need to work for the rest of her life, would get instant European citizenship, and three above all, pretty much has her life pretty much solved. So that's why I need to filter. See, that is not all fun and games. What you said the other several streams ago about being a bourgeois class or whatever, it's not all fun and games. It's not all fun and games. I need to ensure that the person loves me for what I am and not what I have. That is important. That's very generous, if not outright prostitutional. It is very generous, and I do not accept prostitution. No, of course I don't. It's very generous. A real one. No, no, I would never accept that. I would never accept that. The person has to love me for my personality, so I need to be. I have to filter. I have to filter. I have to filter very, very well. I need to be very, very careful. I need to be very, very careful. The person thinking of marriage would probably. No, 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 no. No, I don't think so. Uh, yes, maybe if I see the person is obsessed,
Don't
yes.
you dare let go!
Oh, the whore always covers the. No, no, pillow, no, 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 pillow, no, 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 pillow. I didn't mean it like that. I would mean that I would love for the person to work and have her life and etc. But
I knew that
but
fraud was up to
reality is
something.
she
But
wouldn't
this?
have the
Kyle
needs
will
of
wonder how
99% of the
long he'd been
population.
plotting
Is
his
the truth
red
of the matter.
dereliction.
Trust me, I
He'll
know
know
from
when to
personal
stop
experience.
coming.
No,
Malgus,
no,
Jadis, now
no. But I
Rivix.
have
Why can't these Sith just play their
a
stupid
huge, huge
games somewhere else
responsibility.
and leave the rest of us in peace?
No, no, no. It's not like that. It's not like that. It's not like that. It's not like that. A, a recommendation for men:
Major, we need you to. Oh, good. She's found you.
don't
Well done, Major.
accept the
It
first
seems your
thing that comes
instincts
into
were
your
correct.
life with the prostitutes, like he says, and
Your
etc.
absence from Odessa
From
was
my humble
discovered. I don't know
perspective,
how,
because
but the
otherwise,
Dark Council are very
otherwise you will
unhappy
have
about it.
problems.
There's
You will
no
have
time to
problems.
deal with them.
One time I got
We
this
need to
one guy
gather our
practice.
forces and prepare
No,
for battle.
boy,
Contact
it
the
was a
tribe.
mistake.
We'll need the Mandalorians as well.
Where are we headed?
Pillow. She
Understood.
took her nails.
See you soon.
No, please, no, Pillow, no,
So,
no,
to
no,
carsh on then.
no,
To
no.
another Sith trying to
It
put
was
the
a
rest
really
of
good
us
time.
on
No,
his
no,
bench.
no,
We've all got enough
no,
on our
please,
plates
no.
without the people in charge always looking for new ways to flip the table. Or to
In the
betray
moment,
the
it may
Empire,
feel good,
Rivik's
Pillow,
case.
but then you get scars. No, no.
And what about the people like me, who work tirelessly to preserve the Empire's strength?
That's the problem. There aren't enough people like you. Too many are only out
The
for
second,
themselves. The
but she
rest of us
also
be
had to take me
damned.
to ER after to the hospital to emergency care. I don't know. The second time was the okay.
Sorry. Listen to me. Going on
Fortunately,
like
I
this when you've
exercised.
been dealing with the worst of it.
I exercised some virtues and I didn't go that route. Gladly, gladly. I always you. I was always choking kind of and then bleeding kind of. Pillow, don't you feel a bit of shame saying those things publicly on the internet? Really, really, like this is the problem with post-Obama's society. Not at all well, then keep saying them. It's not me who's saying them. Eh, but pillow.
Your concerns are understandable, Major.
Well, at least you
There is no let them
recognize
consume you.
I'm a masochist.
You're
Okay,
right,
okay.
my
No,
lord.
nobody doubts that. Nobody doubts that. Just ask yourself if there isn't a relationship. I thought I made that abundantly clear. Yeah, no. Ask yourself if there isn't a
Sit
relationship
tight.
between
I'll get us back safe.
you self-declaring a masochist and also being liberal. Ask yourself if there isn't a relationship. Maybe. But well. Ask yourself if there and playing Baldur's Gate 3 as well. But well,
You
it's like that.
assured me that she was
It's
not
like that. I have a
necessary for
bit
the new
of
machine to work.
a
So
lot
tell me,
more of morality in
why
that
is
sense.
it
I
not
thank
working?
Thomas Aquin.
Field
I thank
Marshal!
Thomas Aquin. Even if he was fat as you say. Of course there is. Of course there is. There is a relationship between being masochist and which one would you say is
I've
that you
captured
give
the
your
traitor.
taxes so they
Ready
can
to
found?
attack.
What the fuck? If the conservative could, they would. India, actually,
I
I'm
only
not a.
see one traitor in chains. My most trusted Hibir, how you have fallen. You dare come to me still on your feet after you so spectacularly failed in your duty. So much was taken from me because
Don't
of your
worry, Pillow. The
inadequacy.
only ones who will do
How
that
would you
are
think I'm
are
going to
are
see your
degenerates on the
face
left.
again?
I can assure you of that.
I have
If
served
I
you.
assure you that
Served
conservatives,
your cause
they
without
we
question.
are not very
No one has been as
interested
loyal to
in.
you as I have.
We
I
are not
am not
very
loyal.
interested in those.
I need
We like.
victory.
I assure you
Bloodshed,
that
anything
our
less, is
ideal
meaningless.
woman is one that comes from a
I thought
farm,
you understood that,
of
Papa,
course,
but it seems that I was
mature,
mistaken.
and
Your
and
system
and
has
and
warped your sense of
and
priority,
absolutely
and you,
away from
like
any
the
cities
wielders,
and those
soft,
degeneracies
failed
that
to
the left
resist
likes
it.
doing in Thailand and Cuba and etc.
Despite your
No, I
failings,
assure you.
Null's machine, the one that will
They
bring
could
us
choose, they
victory,
would make
is
everyone a
nearly
missionary
complete.
in the dark while
Once I have the
thinking about
bases
Jesus
holocron
instead of
back,
the woman while they
you
have
will have your only
she said that
chance to
is
prove
to
that
give.
you are
No, I
worthy of
agree
our
with
place
you that
in the
if
hidden
that should
chamber,
happen,
the place
I would grab
have given
the
you.
conservatives and punish them the same way I would do with the leftoids going to Cuba and to Thailand and etc. If in Dubai and all of those things, I would do the same. I do think in general society is, regardless of party, there's a lot of degenerates everywhere. There's a lot of degenerates.
Field Marshal,
Moral
are you prepared to accept my offer?
should be enforced much more harshly in that sense. In that I agree, bro. The political choice in my country, yeah, I would clearly be interested in that, Pillow, as to have like such an idea,
It's time
such a
to
bad idea
end
of us.
this.
Which are the choices? That is something I'm genuinely interested in. Is the political choice in Poland. What would you say it is? Like there aren't monarchists like me, or at least liberal people who believe in freedom, but no rainbow flags. Like freedom derived from virtues of Rome, of the West, and etc. Because it has to be like quite, I don't know, it has to be pro-Russia in that sense for you to react so opposite as the liberals get your taxes because they get your taxes. And they do not promote fairness in that sense. You yourself said that still the ones who go to a trench army, and you said that it was unfair, and I agree with you. So, cold storage supplies. Hey, I got a nice decoration here. Aquarium? No. Oh, nice. I got a deco for mine. What? It's over. Don't tell me this is it, people. What? This is it? I'm up to date with the story for the first time since 2015, people. Yes, it only took me 1 year and a half. Okay, okay, look at that. This is it, people. This is it. I'm up to date with this. Now I read it below. I'm up to date with the story. I'm up to date with the story, people. Wow, I can't believe the day just arrived. Finally, all of the episodes and everything. Okay, I'm finally up to date with the story. So now I need to get to I need to wait for an update to continue the story, basically. Because I'm done, I don't have any more quests. Unless I have to start. Let me check my ship before verifying that. So, the far right... Ultra... Pillow, I would love to know what you call that. Center-right autocrats that have the most rainbow flag people scandals. The sorta okay liberals, the literally ex-communists that used to rule during the regime, and social democrats. Oh, and I guess PSL, which is a farmers' party. I would vote, and the farmers' party. Why is that not more popular? That's nice. Also, I believe in the most rights for the individual instead of the Commonwealth. Also, they get that's highly discriminatory. That's highly discriminatory. What indicates that rainbow flag men who dress as women? You have an obsession with them, by the way. You have sort of an obsession with them. Like during the day, I don't even think of them, but you clearly think of them as. Okay, so why would they be more efficient in power? Because of who or what they go to bed with. See, that is highly discriminatory in that sense. What makes them superior just because of who they go to bed with? It's if anything, they have a psychological disturbance, if you want my opinion. But what? Liberals are a natural choice. Okay, so the center ones are a natural choice because libertarians here decided to ally with the ultra. Millet is libertarian, basically. Here we are more libertarian. The people who think invading Ukraine is a good idea, no, of course. Well, see the thing. I disagree with the last statement. I think the invasion of Ukraine definitely. I don't know who could say that it's a good idea as it's attacking Europe. In that sense, I will agree. I will agree that maybe Zelensky isn't the best choice in the world as president, but still, nothing justifies getting into European territories. No, no. First, eliminate external threat, then solve internal one. The people who think, I don't know about you, but I believe in equality. No, but that's not equality. That's not equality. If you say, which one was it? That's not equality. That's discrimination. If you say, which one is it? I believe here. I believe in the most rights for the individual and self common gay men in power. Like, why do they need to? Why? What's the relationship between the sexual preference and being more efficient? And being more efficient in ruling a country. You are judging. It's like that. Bro, the rainbow flag people are real. If you disagree with some evidence because I dismantle all of your current instead of petties, you will agree with me. I know, but at least don't think if you have nothing intelligent. I have a lot, Pillow. I have a lot, Pillow. The fact that I do not use that I don't laugh and I do not precisely ridicule other people to expose my arguments, pretty much to show my arguments, it only indicates that mine are much more mature. If you ask me, but you know better, probably. And second, I did tell you the metaphysical. The other day I debated it with chaotic chemistry. The metaphysical component is not incorporated into the discussion. I already told you. How can the psychological consciousness of the brain, if it's inside of the biological framework of the composition of gray and white matter, be more important than the biological framework of the brain? I already explained that to you in depth. I gave you my point. If you want to ridicule it and ignore it, I can only tell you that most of the population will think otherwise, because I am telling all of this to you with logic. How can psychological consciousness override the biological framework of the brain? If metaphysically the framework of any entity determines its content, the content never determines the framework. How can consciousness inside of the brain determine the brain itself and the rest? It can't. Just like the Milky Way cannot determine the fate of the universe. It's a relationship between framework and content, metaphysically. But since metaphysics are not incorporated into the discussion, it's a political discussion. Imposed socially. It's not a matter of biology. If it were a matter of biology and metaphysics, hard sciences, it would be another story. But it violates a lot of metaphysical principles. I don't understand or know what you are talking about. Well, that's the thing. I do make an effort to understand what other people talk about. Or did you read some rage bait on Twitter and believe? No. This is something that you won't find elsewhere on the internet. It's my own reasoning about the topic. So if I take a shit, would it upset metaphysics? No, Pillow. Framework and content. The universe. Think about the universe. How can I put it differently? Think about the universe. Does something exist outside of the universe? Would you say that something exists outside of the universe? Saying that violates the rules of thermodynamics and metaphysics. Okay? I just use the laws of deduction, that's the scholastic method of Thomas Aquinas, to extrapolate it to the current topic. Can the consciousness of the brain, gender theory, that supposedly then overrides and do you think the universe cares? The universe cares about a rainbow flag sex? No, that's not the point, Pillow. That's again trying to ridicule it, and that does not solve the question, really. Does something exist outside of the universe? If not, how can psychological consciousness of the supposedly created gender inside of the consciousness of the brain How can it override the whole biological framework of proportion of gray and white matter outside of it? How can something inside of a box affect something outside of a box? It's a metaphysical principle, epistemic evidence of formation of molecules and particles in time and space. Basic metaphysics. It violates metaphysics. It violates principles of metaphysics. Do you think the universe can? You said this multiple times. Well, but I have to repeat it because you tell me I don't understand or know what you are talking about. If I repeat it several times and you tell me I don't understand or know what you are talking about, then I am forced to repeat it pretty much. And multiple times I have told you the answer. Multiple times you're supposed to answer this. Can something exist outside? Seriously, can something exist outside of the universe? No, it cannot. No matter how you tell me or what argument, nothing can exist outside of existence itself. It's metaphysics. I studied metaphysical philosophy that aim to explain reality. And the thing is that all of the topics we debate are inside of reality. What are you gonna do? It's reality. It cannot exist outside of reality. So how can the psychology of the brain override the biological framework if in the universe, see the scale I'm saying, the whole universe, in the whole universe, the framework determines the content? How is it possible? People are trying to tell me that in this very one case, the content is gonna determine the. It's not like that. It's not like that. Because you have a worldview which is so concrete you cannot change anything, or it no. How is it a worldview? It's an empirical truth and evidence. Can you exist outside of the universe? It's like that. Can you exist outside of the universe? What's the word? A worldview would be, let's go United States. This is empirical evidence. Objective empirical evidence. Can any molecule exist outside of reality? It can't. That proves the existence of the metaphysical principle that the framework of any entity, combination of molecules and particles in time and space, determines the content. Determines the content. The framework determines the content. The content cannot determine the framework. And I just apply that principle. It's not a worldview. How would it be a worldview? How would it be a worldview? For it to be a worldview, it would need to be debated without empirical evidence. How can something exist outside of reality? Things exist inside reality. That proves the principle that the framework determines the content. And I just extrapolated to the argument of rainbow flags. The thing is that because it's a political and social debate, it tries to overwrite it. But reality shows us otherwise, and I subordinate myself to reality. But it's not a worldview. If it were a worldview, I would tell you, let's do whatever. Let's just support the US. That would be much more similar to the world. Okay, fine, I'll tell. But can something exist outside of reality? No, it cannot. Then the framework determines the content. Below, I studied metaphysics precisely for a reason. Metaphysical philosophy it's not a worldview. It's empirical evidence. My perception of it. A chemical component in your brain. Chemical component in your brain. Okay. That still cannot override the proportion of gray matter and white matter on the brain. It still can't. That's why you see that even men who dress as women still have some behaviors, even if they try to go against nature, the objective combination of molecules and particles, they still have some behaviors like that. If you walked up to anybody on the street and said this, they would need to... No, wait. They would ask you, first you are seeing... Okay, that's an interesting one, Pillow, that we debated, regardless of the topic. That's an interesting one. They will say you are not making any sense. Okay, but then they would need to reply to me. Can any combination of molecules and particles exist outside of reality, outside of time and space? Try it out. I have explained it to several people and a lot have understood. People are not that idiotic in the sense as to disregard what I say by default. In that sense, they process it. I can assure you that a lot of them, and none, of course, could reply to me. None could reply to me that that anything existed outside of reality. And they would reply, no, they generally go silent. They generally go silent and end up thinking, and after some seconds they say, well, you do have a good point. In fact, you did it the first time I said this, while I was doing the ending of Titan Quest. So it was even your reaction. I may not agree with the people and I don't like them that much, etc. But they exist. Okay. Yeah, they would say that out of political and social coercion. And that's precisely what I want to, what I like breaking. Because I like people thinking with logic. It's logic. XD, Pillow, I do not laugh at you thinking that men dressing as women can be women, pretty much. You would be surprised, Pillow. You clearly tried it in real life. No, evidently I will never try such degeneracy of nature. No, thank you. If you tried it, Pillow, your choice, all good, but not for me. I like especially British pale women. I have it very defined. I'm very or American or anything Anglophile in general. I have my tastes very defined. Thank you. Have them very defined. Also Italian, it doesn't need. It's not about nationality. It's about the spirit of the person. That old thing called the soul, to have eternal love. No. And that is never going to happen when you do the twisted perversion of nature. In less than 60 years, we will be able to completely do what? Nobody's forcing you to. Well, they are imposing it a bit. It's what I was saying at the beginning. What's the relationship between a rainbow flag and illegal aliens in Europe? That in both cases, the white European men don't reproduce. Well, European men and women, both. Don't think that it only affects us. Don't think we'll be the only one. What is the reality? Who are not reproducing in both cases? With the rainbow flag practices and the illegal migration, that the white European men and women cease to be majority. That's the objective reality. Anyone? No, never. In Agent. I sure got a no. First of all, Pillow, believe it or not, in Argentina, this will be harsh for anyone. Wait a sec. Sure, I got a scout. In Argentina, this will be a harsh truth. It will be a harsh truth. Those people didn't exist. They didn't exist. I know this will be harsh for you, but they didn't exist. Fortunately, they didn't exist. I had a healthy childhood, a very healthy childhood, a very healthy childhood. In that sense, those things didn't exist, and etc. But above all, reply to me. well, or think about it. Don't reply to me because then otherwise it seems like a stupid rage bait and etc. Just think of my word. Can something exist outside of reality? The metaphysical principle that you tell me you don't understand. Can it exist outside, regardless of a rainbow flag? People, don't think about them. Can, if I put this controller inside of a box and I move the box, does the controller move with it? That's the metaphysical principle I talk about. Particles in time and space. It's like that. If you're gonna do it out of spite, no way, I'm gonna buy. I don't know what you love at the end. Right? Have a great night, pillow. Think about the metaphysical principle because it can save your life one day. I know it sounds silly, but it can save your life one day. Because eventually, when no one else sees reality and you do, it can save you. Definitely. It's like that. It's like that. I promise you that it's not just a word. You know that I'm not precisely religious fanatic. I'm a fanatic of Rome, but not of a religion in that sense. So you can see that I say it with my utmost good intention of creating a healthy society. My utmost intention, I promise. Bye, have a great night, Pillow, and thank you for your company. Thank you for your company and your great debates, Pillow, as always. But by the way, I will include that your reaction was also like that when I said this. You said it's a very decent argument against, I think you said trans, but then immediately afterwards you said, can we at least agree of the basic principle, quote, of gay people existing? And that's where we disagree in that sense. People will, I don't think people would laugh on the street. I think in general, when I told it to people, this is something I wanted to say. Right, Pillow, have a great night, and hope you do well with your jobs and etc. That you said you were very busy. When I told this to people, generally they go silent for a bit. Not in Argentina. In Argentina, they would agree with me 100%. They wouldn't even think it so deeply, but they would say, yeah, there are men who who dress as women. Basically, that's the average Argentine. They are going to say that. They are not going to take it seriously. They wouldn't go as in depth as I go with the metaphysical explanation, of course, but basically that, just so you see that is not that much as it is being sold in Europe, in that sense, that it is being sold in as it is being sold in Europe. Social media is one thing, and reality is another. And reality is another. Pretty much, if you ask me. Okay, people. I love how I always end up debating everything. You know that before starting the stream, I actually think the opposite. I think, oh well, we are going to have a quiet stream as 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 no one. As I get everyone bored with these things, and then it's the opposite. I don't know honestly what's going on there in Europe. The propaganda is massive because honestly, I would have never expected it to be like that. I had a different image in my head. The propaganda is massive there. Like, it's very in full effect, I see, because here in Argentina we've had propaganda. I don't think that my country is perfect, but nobody took them seriously. Yeah, that's what I tell you precisely. And this is another detail that I wanted to say regarding it, because he was mentioning, Pillow was mentioning.
Itzek amul. Eves tol ere ni as atenger. Is as urza that can aso kenisanap.
Oh, go. Consider these people, because he's mentioning to me precisely. If you walked up to anybody on the street, I wanted to grab this point. Anybody on the street and said this, they would ask you if you are serious and etc. Please, people, if you want my humble advice, my humble advice, if 99 people in a room tell you to go jump off a cliff and one person says, don't do that, think for yourself, not what others say to you. Even if a million people tell you something, consider the logic of the objective logic of the argument, not the quantity of it. That is the thing. That is the thing. Besides people reacting differently, in my experience, I tell you this because this is precisely how World War II started. The Nazi regime that nowadays people complain so much about started because relativism precisely gave breath, and Russian communism as well, the Soviet Union, both were created by relativism, by the fact that the majority is always right, because perception overrides the objective arrangement of molecules and particles. Okay, as they try to replace uh, the medieval times in which God occupied that place. But in order to change the ideal of God occupying that place, you don't have to go to the other extreme and say that majority equals reality. That is the thing. Because let's suppose the scenario that Pillow mentioned to me earlier, in general, is true. That I sell this to people and nobody finds any logic. I am like alone over at a desert saying something. Okay, imagine that you are alone at a desert saying something that is empirically true. For example, this that you realize. Imagine that you are an old ancient Greek philosopher, and you are in the middle of a desert. No one else around you, and you observe that something simple, that the grains of the sand of the desert cannot exist without a strong sun. If the sun didn't exist, the framework, would the content, the sand of the desert, exist? No. That's the fact that you are this is the important part. That's the fact that you are saying it alone in the middle of a desert with nobody to hear you, with no feedback, nobody else, no other mind to get a feedback. Would it change the fact, this is a very interesting topic of human nature, would it change the fact that your observation is still empirically true? No, it would not. It would not change it. It would not change it. You can still observe objective reality, even if that was the case that I told this to anyone on the street and everyone disagrees. Every single person on the planet disagrees. It's not the case. It's not the case. A lot of people will agree with me. But imagine that was the case. Even in that situation, even in that situation, the empirical evidence exists. The existence of feedback does not interfere with empirical evidence. That's a problem that scientists apparently have forgotten nowadays. They haven't forgotten. They are afraid and they don't say it in a lot of cases because they are being founded by China and all of this that I said at the beginning of the stream with the walks and etc. that we know. It's pretty much like that, people. But empirical evidence, just know this, empirical evidence cannot be altered by the amount of feedback because it's based on logic in that sense. And second, that precisely ignoring this is what caused the start of World War II, pretty much. It's what it started, that they complain so much about. It's what it started it. If the majority is always right, then they all vote to do something wrong, and that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Is what I'm. Oh, I have to keep going. Oh, but it's for the reputation of Manan, basically. It's basically that, people. It's basically that. If you cannot contradict a metaphysical principle and empirical evidence directly, in that sense, you cannot contradict them from the position of an inferior science like psychology. Not inferior in the same. This is what people don't understand. Not inferior in the sense that it's useless. It is inferior that, yes, in relative terms, to metaphysics, because it's contained within. The same goes for biology that I'm using as my argument, and etc., because that violates a metaphysical principle. This metaphysical principle that is not taken into discussion. That's why it was a very I was gladly surprised when the other day chaotic chemistry, disagreeing with me even, told me that precisely uh, metaphysics are not included into the discussion. That's true, that they could be included in that sense. So yeah, pretty much. That's what I would say. That's what I would say. Because if the majority is always right, that's the argument. Pretty much that I tell this to anyone on the street and they don't take me seriously. If that is the case, then there would never be any critical thinking, and we would never evolve. See the problem? There needs to be disparity of opinions. That's why I like debating, and it's better than not talking about it. Not talking about it at all means that it's only seen from one angle. That's why I'm against not talking about politics, even if I play video games first. Second, the fact is that if the majority is always right, we perpetuate errors of the past, pretty much. Because if you can overwrite everything, nature and reality, with majority, with just everyone ridiculing. Imagine, as I said, ridiculing what I say, like he suggests. That is not the case. A lot of people agree with me. Then we can overwrite it, and it's like that. And even if you are alone in a desert, this is the key. If you are alone in a desert, you can still objectively observe nature and reality. That's the thing. It does not require a feedback from other people. It does not require a feedback, because it has to do with you directly observing epistemic evidence. In that sense, it has to do with that. Investigate the visitor center. And what do I do with this? Ah. What's this? Huh? I see a mailbox there. What's that? What on earth? It was more or less over here. Aha. Cellcath datapad. Ah, what? I have to find 5 of these? Ah, no, that's brutal. Well, brutal. Can't I just click on them? No. This one is a bit of a stretch of an angle, but pretty much. Okay, people, how much time did my talk of today consume? An hour and 50 minutes. Well, that's brutal. For anyone watching this because they like Star Wars: The Old Republic, we finish with the main story and everything. Pretty much, yeah. It's just that at least you have to admit something. I love what I do here. I have passion. I have real passion for what I do. Because I started with District, Patrick, and Chaotic Chemistry, and I ended up with Pillow effortlessly changing the topic. You have to admit that I love what I do here, at least. It makes me good. It makes me feel good always coming to stream. That's the thing. Sometimes I have a harsh day doing paperwork and etc. And I come to stream and I feel much better in that sense because I can like share my thoughts in that sense. So yeah, pretty much, pretty much. You have to admit, people, that I do have passion for what I do. In that sense. You have to admit that. Okay. Right. I wonder where the last datapad could be. It has to be over there, probably. But... pretty much has to be somewhere over here, maybe. Am I within range? Wait. No. Unless it's here in the fountain, I don't think so. That would be stupid. Maybe I need to look from another angle or something like that. Doesn't even appear on the map. Weird. Weird. What the f... There. Ah, very well hidden, huh? I could have sworn I looked into this direction, but still. Enter the operations sector. There we go. Okay, people. Let me see if I can avoid these mobs. Get over here. Go over here. Oh! Oh, Galactic Season 7. Galactic Season Reward level 7. Season Progress +2 Influencing Perfect Rampage. Good. There, I'm also doing Conquest at the same time. Also, besides, there's one thing I wanted to say, people. I don't know what's the obsession nowadays with the rainbow flag, men who dress as women. If they never existed back, I can swear to you, they never existed back in the 90s. They still don't exist nowadays. Men, men dressing as women, pretty much. It's all it is. But this obsession that we have nowadays, it didn't exist in the 90s. Like, kids were kids. We thought about Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh! At your ages of 20, I was still thinking about my PS3, the Xbox 360, like all of these things. Of course, I had to learn about philosophy and etc. But this obsession, I can tell, is absolutely unnatural and post-Obama. Like pre-Obama, I can assure you none of this existed, and I think it was much more healthy. It was healthier in that sense. None of this existed. What Pillow mentions to me, in that sense, I need to be honest with you. Nobody even thought of the rainbow flag people existing. I'm sorry, it's the reality of it. It's what I lived through. I don't know if maybe it's because my country was Italian or what, but in the US I had the impression it was the same and etc. It wasn't part of life basically. It was seen as something like, yes, there's one person who maybe jumps off a cliff or is crazy and wants to do something crazy, but I need to be honest with you. In my childhood, um, I cannot even think of one time in which I even thought about the existence of it. It was so clear, life was so clear that you were a child, you had to grow up and meet a nice woman, a nice little lady that you enjoy spending time with. It was pretty clear and straightforward. And spend your time in eternal love with her. It's there's not there was no questioning of nature like I see nowadays. I need to be honest with you. I cannot lie to Pillow or anyone here. It really didn't exist. When I tell him it didn't exist, it's because it didn't exist. It's what I grew up with, and I was quite comfortable with it. And I think, in retrospective, even looking back, it was much healthier.
Enjoy your stay.
It's pretty much the reality. The epistemic evidence and everything that I said didn't exist. It didn't exist. I cannot lie. I will not lie to people. It didn't exist. I didn't thought of twisting nature like that, even a single time in my life, until I am forced to do a reflection upon it due to the political propaganda post-Obama. Like, I wasn't forced to do any reflection upon it. Nature was accepted, pretty much. I will not lie to newer generations. It's what it was. It was reality. It was reality. Everything was perfectly clear. Men liked women, women liked men. It was simple. It was natural, natural thing, pretty much. It was a very natural thing to 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 accept. Absolutely natural. Absolutely natural. Nobody would question that. Uh, None of us question that in our time, pretty much, or even think about it. This obsession that I see nowadays, it's something that can only happen below 30, I guess. This obsession with it. Anyone But fortunately, you all who are younger are
Ready for departure.
like
Enjoy your stay.
going back to accepting basic nature. I don't know how to pretty much put it. The fact that he's telling me the part of not understanding what I say, well, it's like that. It's like that. It's like that. It's something that was created by Obama. Then I have to ask him what exactly is the part that he doesn't understand. Then I have to ask him that. I think I asked, but still. I don't think it would lead me. But still. Even disagreeing, people, it doesn't have to do with disagreeing or not. Hey, can I mount in here? Oh, beautiful. Look at the deep sea here. This is a reality. No one, not even thought about it at all. As a child, I was perfectly accepting, and no one could even think of the existence of such twisting of nature. This is a reality. Nobody could even think about that at all. No, cool. Nobody thought about it at all. It's reality, people. I'm sorry. It is like that. And well, it clearly shows us, as I'm a bit older in that sense, compared to most people that I debate this with. Okay? So, pretty much is that. Pretty much is that. It shows. It shows. You can see that I'm not lying because I'm 30 and I'm telling you this, and most under 30 on average, of course, tend to say what Pillow says with much more frequency. Here you have proof that I'm telling you the truth, that it didn't exist back then. There you have it. But it's like that. Nobody has been able to, because it's impossible, not because of a limitation or that I'm like challenging people. It's because of a natural limitation that the framework of any metaphysical entity can never determine its content. See, I'm not talking from anything but empirical observation. I love that one casually standing on the cryostasis, like leaning back with arms crossed. So what happened to you? Which finally went away. And? The conservator, what's that? My assistant gave me the price. You will no longer fight for the years of Manan. Lose every empire attack. Walk away. This is a waste of my time. Isn't there a way to liberate them without a price? Oh. This is a kotor-like take, that shot that they did here. Pretty good angle. It's a kotor-like zine in that sense. It's a kotor-like zine in that sense, if you ask me, people. Huh? Okay, it was black for there for a second. Okay, what now? Locate the conservator. Where's the conservator? Or what is it first? Ah, no. Here we go. What? That's a lot of mobs. That's a lot of mobs in that sense. I think I'm in range. Oh wait, they can cross through that. Wait, that's the conservator, caretaker of Menan. Okay. Okay, let me dispatch. I dispatched all of the mobs. I wonder why this quest has a green planet symbol besides it. It's the first time I see something like this.
Ismeret ven. As en tun, oben lapos sag le vego. Sotet warcraft esad fellet. Estavo lab meg minil uge. Oze disazos. Homaleban.
That's the degree boots.
Folio semisem. Ugen is it key. Nemvod quinta villa gito turco. Latate
For Homer.
got a. Hoge afele tengeri. Minegin retet neste.
Like a
Al ala sonak oraban. Amun kaja kostunk. Vota hodje hogene kunk. Toleras egemas for akot venea tengerazon. Kivulgastas voltesak fe ut azo negre. Akon I berega mosdu. Akot venea tengerazon. Minegin retet neste.
Ah no, you don't get to negotiate with me like this. No. That's cool too. No, you don't make. This is like negotiating with criminals. No, people. No, people. The final merciful offer was to leave this place, not to tell me what to. This is cute. Not to tell me how to run, how to help the empire. The offer was different. Done and done. Could it be that this is right on top of my fast travel? Ah, I get cold too. Oh shit, it's right on where I have my fast travel. No worries, I have an alternative solution. This is something, this is a very ancient sorcery called using your abilities panel to activate your abilities. No worries. Now question is which one is the objective? Let me see. Which one has the objective? None? Let's use our memory. It has to be this one. This is an old art of using your abilities panel to actually activate your abilities, people. Something that is not something that will ever come from a Jedi. In that sense. Oh, look at that, there's a drop.
Voltesak fe ut azo negre. Akon ivolomar. Minegin retet neste. Ahoje hatal al ala sonak oraban.
Then our business is concluded. The people are to Commander Croak. One less terror element interfering. Pretty much. Hey, look at that, it has drops. You get a walker. I think I have that walker. Or is it different? Let me see what walker is it. Now I'm... Which one is it? View details. Oh no, it opens an extra thing. An extra... I don't know what kind of walker this one is. It's weird. There's nothing like the element of surprise in the biowaregames stealth generator. Faster annihilation. Well, I did everything. Lord you, that's it, and one less of those quests. Hey, it didn't took that much. Runuk, let's try with... No, first it was Runuk then. Let's go with Runuk. Eyes on the prize. We've been Lane Bisla there in Runuk. Okay, let's see. Let's see if I can finish all of these quests, as now we're up to date. So we're basically at a cliffhanger regarding the main story, people. We're basically at a cliffhanger. That's sad. That's absolutely sad. That they released the... the story like in batches. What the fuck is this?
Good, you made it. I've been working non-stop trying to get this basilisk droid functioning again, but I haven't had much luck. I'm even looking at busted droids for compatible parts. There's so few records of how these things work, let alone how to repair them. I've got one last lead that I haven't tried, but it's something I could use your help with.
What? Restoring the basilisk droids is a worthy cause. I mean... this is to get a comp, I think.
I knew I could count on you. I scoured the HoloNet and I couldn't find anything on basilisk droid construction. But I found someone who might know. There's this guy who calls himself the Curator. He buys the rarest defunct droids all over the galaxy for ridiculous amounts of credits. We're talking, I don't even want to know what he did to earn this kind of credits. I know it's just a hunch, but I bet this guy knows something about basilisk droids. He might even have one. The problem with this guy is he's a total recluse. He uses proxies at auctions and private courier companies to deliver his purchases. But with a little patience, I finally managed to slice into the shipping manifest that includes one of his latest purchases, the Eye of G0T0. Here's the plan. I know where the Eye is going and when it's going to get there. You dress as the courier and deliver a fake Eye of G0T0 before the real courier gets there. If he thinks you're from the courier company, you should be able to talk to him directly. Try and find out what he knows about basilisk droids. Someone who collects the oldest, rarest droids has to have at least... I'm pretty sure I pulled a few... Of course I'm excited. This is the best lead I've had in... Come find me when you've collected the...
What? What is this? Recover a disruptor. Well, I don't know, but I just want all of these quests out of my mission log, people, basically. So I will not waste my time even thinking.
Clan of Rain Gear must be after something special. No other reason to stick around here.
Ready for departure. Enjoy your stay.
I'll directly do this. It's faster. Much faster. As it fades to black and takes me there. It's much faster, people. Much faster. It's much faster. Okay. Where to now? Oh, I remember when we did the holocron. The datacron, sorry. It was brutal. It was absolutely brutal. Okay. It was like a 4-hour holocron. It was the most brutal of it all. Of them all. Pretty much. So, I think this is to train a pet doggy. I think. Fuck. Let me see if I can skip all these mobs. Say on passive there, I added a passive to quickly put my comp. As you can see there, I can change. There you can see a small green up arrow there. As you can see, I can, as I move, I can with tab put a leash on my comp to bring him here. Nice little trick I devised. Now, oh, I need to be careful here. The mobs are quite tough. Here, without affliction, it's okay. I can see shit. There. Small legacy orbital strike and some extra AoE. Get some fire. Get rid of the healers. And for that I have my final stun there. I have ready. Crushing Darkness. There. Another stun. Stun Wars. There we go. And that should finish the rotation cycle. Good. So, people. I think this is to like find a doggy and rebuild it I think pretty much. So I think I can from here go. So I need this part, but nowhere. Attune the disruptor to the probe droids. Where is that? Give me the full map. Where's the objective? Well, whatever. Whatever. Let's just get out of here. I want to get rid of all of these secondary quests from my mission log.
Ready for departure.
I just want to get rid of them. I remember when we did the data on here. That was brutal. Let me change the loadout. So I have a loadout here. As you'll see, it clears batches of mobs very fast. So yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
Stay focused on the task at hand.
There.
Here we are. Runuk, you got a problem?
After all the fuss, let's just say it's not what I was expecting.
I wonder if this is the quest to unlock the doggy or whatever. I don't know, because then you have to like train the doggy and take him with you and etc. But no, what I want to do is clear my mission log for whatever reason. Damn, I can't believe we've done so much single player content as to have finished all of the story. It's massive, eh? It's a massive game in that sense. They turned it into a massive game. Practically endless. Of course it doesn't have the quality of the original 1 to 50 stories, but still magnificent. Absolutely magnificent. Absolutely magnificent in that sense. Absolutely magnificent. Okay. Hidden chain. Oh shit. Hidden chain, people. I smell terror. Oh. You'll see my build. Look at this. What? It didn't change. What the fuck happened here? What the fuck happened to my build? Am I getting the bolt flags? For some reason I'm not getting bolt flags there. What? What the? Chain lightning to arc. It should arc. I don't know why it's not. It's not proccing there. What happened there? It's not proccing, or am I crazy, or is it not proccing? It was precisely for those groups of mobs. Should be proccing. What do I have to do? Retrieve a probe droid optical sensor. Let me see. What? I may need to reapply the relic. It's not working. It's not proccing. It's not proccing. What the fuck? The Kubas. Defeat 1,000 enemies without tools or Kabul. Wait. Here we go. Hang on. What the fuck? Should be working. Chain lining. There we go. Now it's working. There we go. There we go. There we go. You have to it was a bit bugged. You had to re-equip the relic. Retrieve certificate from Lane's contact on Meksha. And we go to Meksha. I don't know what this will lead me to. I honestly don't know what the fuck I'm doing. But I just want my mission log cleared. People, I want my mission log cleared once and for all in that sense.
Ready for departure. Enjoy your stay.
Okay, yeah. Objective there. Yeah. Professional forger. There we go.
Arragunu paratuk. Kuverunu l'horizon gal ruvel azon ujedet utumuta.
Objective uniform corner from that. Dantooine. Now to Dantooine. That's a lot of. Okay, over here. Right there. Dantooine now. Hyperlane Logistics Courier. Ah, it's that guy. I think it's that guy. Oh, this lady over here. Alright, you see myself. What? I only see a hound. That thing. They went really overboard with the macro binocular missions here. It's like it's the second one I do. Like there's a macro binocular mission for each quest, no matter what. We'll stay a bit more people today because I started late, very late. What the fuck? Let us follow the instructions, people. It has to be a tree first. I love how it's perfectly positioned so you get engaged by one of the hounds. Uh-huh. Yeah, it's not actually scanning the tree. It's what it's on the trees. Okay, and they are very small. Okay. There should be one more here. This one? Alright, at least they indicated trees. Finally. You have no idea how hated the microbinocular missions. Bring the collecting materials to Lane Runuk. Let's see if I can finally clear my quest log, people. Because I'm honestly sick of it. Of it not being complete. I had it empty though. But still. I think I had it empty at some point. But still. Well, no matter. I don't know.
You made it back. I was starting to worry.
I think I first got the quest, then I rejected it, then I accepted it again. I always hear my word.
I know, I just really need this to go perfectly.
What, is it the pet? Sensor. Is it the pet doggy droid?
Finished. It's not my best work, but I think it'll do the job.
With
Are
what?
You ready? You remember the plan?
What?
Alright, I'll go over it again. You need to convince the curator that you work for a private courier company, and you're delivering the Eye of Goto he bought. Once you get some FaceTime with him, find out what he knows about basilisk droids. Remember, this is our best shot at finding out how to repair one of the rarest droids in the galaxy.
Ah, yes, sister.
No pressure, but don't waste this chance.
Ah, yeah, it's about getting the doggy. It's about getting the doggy. It's about getting the doggy, people. It's the doggy quest. It's the doggy quest. Alright. It's the doggy quest for the comp. But well, I want my mission log cleared. That was easy. I eliminated the other one. These ones are dailies. Okay. These ones are just dailies. Okay. Okay, I got more daily areas there. Okay. So I just need to get rid of the doggy and we are... I think it's that, huh? Because it's the basilisk droid. Because this quest I got it granted. I got the quest granted like automatically back when I returned. Then then I could somehow abandon it. Can I abandon it now? No, you cannot abandon it. And I remember I ignored it. And now, as I did the Runuk storyline, I did a part of this quest, I think. I think I did a part of this quest that I wanted to eliminate it from my quest log and I couldn't. Or whatever. Change into the courier's uniform. What? What the fuck is this shit? Change into the courier's uniform. What? What? Where? How do I change into the courier's uniform? Or whatever the fuck that is. What's the courier's uniform? We're gonna say customization, requires SWTOR. Looks good. What's here? Courier's uniform. I wonder if it's the outfitter or my real Rose. I hope I don't get attacked. Like this, or is it the courier? Is it the outfitter? Complete. Good.
You're earlier than expected. Excellent. You'll be getting a good review from me.
I hope I don't get attacked in here.
Well, it's wonderful to see couriers who take shipment time seriously, especially with valuable items such as this. What was the name of your courier service again? Excellent. Yes, you'll be receiving a stellar review once I examine the merchandise. Hand over the eye. I must inspect it for damages. Ah, yes. Excellent. Wait. The eye of G0T0 doesn't have 3 compressor valves. It only has 2. This is a forgery. Imposter! Droids! Restrain this charlatan!
Rating? Please. Oh shit, man. Shit. I knew what was gonna happen. What do you mean, disabled? Galactic slap! Is this a joke? Slap.
Wait, please, no more! These droids are my life. I'll give you anything to stop! Basilisk droids? Of course! Magnificent war droids, ridden into battle by the Mandalorian Crusaders. I've never seen one in person. They are extremely rare. One would be quite a find, worthy of my collection, but I've never seen one for sale. Why are you interested in Basilisk droids?
To repair them?
You've picked a very obscure hobby, but I'm not one to judge. You're in luck. I have one of the most complete collections of droid schematics in the known galaxy.
And?
This is embarrassing. I am one of the galaxy's leading droid experts. I have carefully curated records from all corners of the galaxy. But I, seem to have no records for Basilisk droids. Okay, please, just, no more breaking things. There is another legendary droid, the HK-24 unit. It was infamous for taking down hundreds of Basilisk droids.
And?
I've longed to add one to my collection, but regrettably most were destroyed. They were deemed too dangerous for civilians. If you can find one, its memory core would be guaranteed to have the information you're looking for. My informants tell me one of the last known HK-24 units is secured away in a high-security cell on Belsavis.
Yes, we're going to my favorite planet.
You are clearly a force to be reckoned with. And with my connections, we can pull this off together. If I provide you with a borrowed security clearance, you can clear the defenses leading to the HK unit's cell, where the droid's memory core will be ripe for the taking. You can plug that memory core into any droid chassis, and it should give you the information you need. All I ask in return is that you leave the chassis of the HK droid behind. I employ a service that will retrieve it from my collection. My sources are very reliable. I pay them enough to be.
Okay.
I'll transmit the security clearances once you land on Belsavis. I'm looking forward to finally adding an HK unit to my prestigious collection. If it's all the same to you, I'll stay here until you leave. Please be careful on your way out.
I can relate to this guy. He's a collector. Nobody understands the delicate art of collecting, generally. He's very, very priceless relic. What? Having intrusive thoughts? What? No, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to do that. I thought it was just to have an extra gift. Okay. Holocom.
I was getting antsy. Did you talk to the curator? Did he know anything about the basilisk droids? A rare droid memory core? But what could that have to do with...
Yes, he was talking about it.
Rare. HK-24 units are practically non-existent nowadays.
HK
doesn't make sense that they'd have schematics for their targets. This thing could have a detailed record of how our little friend works. It might take some convincing, but the information it contains is worth the... It's gotta be in a high-security prison for a reason. So letting it out is gonna be dangerous, but we don't have much of a choice. So I'll do what I can to help you. Once you reach the security terminal in the prison, contact me. I'll do what I can.
Hey, I'm also getting reputation for that. Let's go to Belsavis. Beautiful world. Beautiful world. Belsavis is one of my favorites. One of my favorite, if not my favorite one. I think it's my favorite one, pretty much, because, well, Oricon would be, but that one is not one of the original planets. Out of the original planets, Belsavis is the best one. In that sense. I don't know, they're all amazing, but this one has like an incredible fauna and flora that is just amazing. That is just amazing. So yeah, pretty much. I'll take some 20 more minutes. To finish this, but otherwise this is just to then get the basilisk droid. I'm not going to stream this beyond this, so on Thursday we can start with Incredible Adventure. We can resume the Incredible Adventures of Van Helsing in that sense. There. We should be able to find it right there. Here we go. Okay. It's close enough. Well, if we are in Belsavis, we need to pay respect and use the classic mount. This is precisely how the Dreadmasters escape their prisons, if you ask me, people. mounting on baractiles like those that you see there. Pretty much. That's why I had, this was my original mount. It was one of the first mounts ever for the cartel market. It was the first one. It's beautiful, completely beautiful. The problem is that there's a bit of clipping. If you see beneath the baractile there, you can see the clipping. They don't address for all of the character costumes. That's bad, but still. Like, I can picture the Red Masters getting out of their prison and mounting like this when getting out of those cells. In that sense. Pretty much. I should go back to my original loadout. I don't think I'm going to face any threat here. That is gonna be, that would require a lot of area of effect damage, pretty much. Let me see, through here, through here, and there. These ones are gonna engage. No. See, my baractile is so fast. Does it reduce the damage? Because back then you had some that reduced the damage, pretty much. Okay, I think I've never been to this zone. It's the very edge of the map. Because you can see the ice wall there. Okay, here. Here, I'll show you my new build with convection. Just so you see. Let me ensure it works. There we go. There we go. Nice. You'll see now. It'll be an insta kill. You'll see, huh? That was fast, people. I'll attack you where you. Now you'll see. Look at that. Well, here these ones are a bit spread. But yeah, pretty much you'll see now. Look at this. It makes it AoE. Quite good. And much more powerful. The thing is that it doesn't have the single target burst required for PvP. So you do it like this, you trigger, and if they are close to each other, well, this one isn't. These ones are awfully placed. Way too spread, but still, for groups, for concentrated groups, it's amazing. Look at this, huh? There, second arc, and pretty much they're all dead. It's good if you get a guard and you are covered. And what the? I've been here. This is like the part of the storyline of the trooper, or whatever, or the consular.
I'm not seeing the HK droid in the cell the curator marked. He values his secrecy, and you've seen his face. If he were smart, he wouldn't cross you. For now, let's assume the HK unit is still somewhere in the high security ward. We just need to pinpoint where. Is that what this is? I was just thinking that I've sunk so much into this. There's an old monitoring station nearby. That once you slice into the station, here's hoping it's still in.
The memory heist. Okay, people. I'll finish this on my own. Anyways, it's just a comp. It's just a pet comp. It's just a pet comp that you get. I'll finish it on my own. And when this time, if I stream Star Wars The Old Republic again, it will be more for... It'll be player versus player. Because I'm done with the story. I'm done with everything. I would need to try doing the Harlan Hunters fight. But for that I need all of the presence datacrons in that sense. I need all of the presence datacrons to be at maximum efficiency. And yeah. So maybe if we do another one, it will be for PvP. In that sense, probably. So I'll finish this offline as my time is up. It's already 9:30. It's been my pleasure. Thanks to Patrick District Chaotic Chemistry for visiting at the beginning of the stream. Then thanks to Pillow for the chat by the end of it. Pretty much in that sense. So yeah, pretty much. Thanks to all of you who visit me daily. Of course, always thanks to Crowbar for his sub and to Axis for being the first 2 subs of the channel. Always thanks to YouTube subscribers and anyone who might have taken the time to watch this in the future. Pretty much, people. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Okay, it's over here. Over here, we can. How much time it's been? It's almost 3 hours. We can do a bit more, right? I'll just do it as if I were offline. See, as it seems to be quite fast. Oh, look at this. There's someone here. Is he a level 45? No, he's not here for what I'm doing. He'll be lucky I'll cleanse the whole place for him. In that sense, because I'm doing so. Whole place dead. There you stay put. You also die. Stolen override codes. Let's rip this. No, there's not even a need to use affliction on that one. There we go. Anything else that needs to die? No, pretty much. But let's see. Let's finish with this one so we give a bit of closure. One terminal station. No, he's definitely doing story there. Second station here. Third station here. Yeah, he's getting. I cleansed the place for him. I cleared the place for him. He went for this one. It's part of the main story. And we got this one. Finally, let's see.
I'm in. I'm seeing a lot of movement in the high security section from the riots. Prisoner transfers, Oh, check. All the droid records are using an old serialized system. I need you to acquire some...
Acquire the serial keys. Well, pretty much it's like that, people. It's just keep searching for the... It's just for a company. People, it's my pleasure. See you all on Thursday. We'll go back to Van Helsing. We'll go back to Van Helsing on Thursday. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to everyone who visited me and made some company. Bye bye, people. Bye bye. Have a great day.